Okay, so last week we were able to like set up the topics route, and then we were able to like block non-admin users from accessing the topic route. For example, now I'm logged in as a user who doesn't have like an admin ability, and then if you try to like access topics, it's going to like redirect you back to this page where I was, which is this dashboard. But then there was something that we did not fix last week, which is just a very slight issue that we are going to fix and move on to the next part of our video. If you notice when we have this topic where we say if it is not a admin, which is this if statement, return view dashboard. Now we were meant to say something like redirect, because if we are trying to return view means that we are trying to just like show a view for a certain route. But then the topics route is meant to display the topics view. That means whenever it is not a topic, we should redirect actually to the dashboard route, not the topics route, and show the dashboard view. This is what I'm trying to say. So instead of saying return view, we say return redirect. Then when we say return redirect, that means whenever we try to like access the topic route, and if we are not an admin, it's going to redirect us back to the dashboard, and then our route URL will also change. Now take a look at this. So you can see we are now back to the dashboard. It's no longer returning the topics route and showing the dashboard. So this is one thing that we need to take note whenever we are working. So the redirect is just to redirect from a route to another route. While return view, that is showing the view, is to like display a view, that is a page for a certain route. Now let's move on. So last week I said we are going to be creating the models for our user posts. So let's just move on to that. So we'll open a new terminal because I've started my application. Then we are going to start creating the model. So we say PHP terminal and say at make model. You make a model and then you give it a name. So user post. Now notice I did not add like a plural value to user post, because the user post, whenever we try to create, we are going to make user post the model name, and then the user post, that is with the S, will be the migration name. So dash M to add migration. That means it's going to create a table named user post and then create a logic on how the table should work. So that way. So it's going to make model user post. Now, this way we've created a model for where our users can post. We can now add information for that model. So we click on Control P on our keyboard and go to user post and then in app model. So we need to say protected fillable, that is protected, which is like encapsulation syntax, and then the variable name fillable, which is what can be fillable, is equals to, then we start passing those variables that we want to set up in our database table. So we say the things that we want to be added whenever a user creates a post is a very simple logic. If I'm to create a post on a website, like on a forum like Nairaland, what are the things that will be added to my table whenever I'm creating a post? Of course, I want to collect the name of the person that created the post, which can be username, and use the username as an alias for that column. And then I want to ensure that this person can also like have their topics title created, or we should first add a title of the section of the topic they are trying to like create. For example, if I'm trying to post something about maybe a celebrity like Whiskey, I should know that that will be going to the celebrity section. So I'll say section which is added to it. Then I'm going to add the topic name that you're trying to create. So I'll say topic name, topic name. So just permit me to copy from the users from one of those models I've been using before. Let me go to user.php. I'm trying to be sure if what I'm doing is correct. So it's actually correct. So I'm fine. So we can move on. So comma again, and then topic name is the title of the post that I'm about to create on a certain section in the forum. And then the section which I'm creating, which will store the section where I'm trying to create the topic. Now, what next do I need to add? So I need to like add what next do I need to add? I need to add the username of the person in the section, the topic name. These are the fillable items. What else? What else? What else? What else? The date created, that the date created is automatically set by Laravel, which is part of the migrations. So we don't need to add that. I think for all we have done, I think this should be we are good to go with this. By using the username, the section, and the topic name. Okay, and the topic content, because whenever you create a topic that you give it a title, you should have the content. And then we might also want to add images and say, um, let's just name it. Okay, so let's just change all of this to post instead of let's change all the topics to post rather. So we highlight the topic and say Control D and then change it to post. So that way it's going to make sense and then say post image. And then on platforms like Nairaland, they are accept and for images whenever you try to add an image to a post. So post image one, and then or let's just rename this one to post image one and give this post image two, and then post image three, then maybe post image four. Let's add more images and say post image five. Let's just say five images for our own forum. That is, these are the columns that will store the images. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to go to the migration. So we'll look for create, which is a way to just search, and then you check the most recent date, which is create so let's just search for the name again. User post. So let's search for user post table. So this is it. Create, which is this new migration. So we just add our columns to the migration file. So we say, and then we add the data type that we want to like pass to the column. For example, if you are trying to create a username, we should know that the username can be stored as a text value, or we can store username as a string. But then I think string has a limit. So let's just say text because the username might be very long. So we say username. And then it can be nullable. That is, whenever we try to, can it be nullable? No, it should not be nullable because whenever we try to create a post, a username is compulsory. That means it can't be nullable. So if we say $table again, then we'll pass what do we pass? Let's pass section. So section also cannot be nullable because if a post is coming from maybe the job section, of course we want to know where the section where this post belongs to. That is whenever a user is trying to create a post for that section. So we say section can also be text because we can the length of the section that our admin has created, we can store it that way. Then the post name should not also be nullable. So table text, and then we say post name. So that way, so we have the post name, and then the next thing that we need to do is to say the post content. So the post content is what we are trying to like type under a post. So we store it as text also post content, and then the next thing that we want to have is the post images, all these which can be nullable. So we can just copy this and say post. Okay, so uh, let's just copy it underneath here. I'm going to delete it later on. So text also because whenever we try to store image, we store the relative parts of that image, and then we say post image one um nullable. Then the next one is to say nullable text post image two nullable table text post image three. So nullable, that is because sometimes we might want to create a post and we don't want to add an image, just like a normal post that you see on the forum. That way, so post image. So let's just copy this for the others instead of start typing and typing and typing. So just say post image 4, post image 5, those ones will be nullable because we store them as text. And so that's it. That's all for everything. And then the date that we create the post is automatically created with the timestamp and value and all the stuff. And then we save. So when we've saved this, we have everything in place. And then in our models again, protected hidden, we don't have anything to hide. And so this should do it. And then this should do it. So let's just save. And I think we need to pass one thing, but then I will not like be doing that now. I might do that later on. So let's just save this. So this should work and create a new user post table. Now when we run migration, say PHP at migrate. So it is going to create the user post table. Then we can see S at the back of the user post table, which is going to come to this place and add user post, which is this with a double underscore. So this way. Now this is good. Now let's check our user post table and see the column. So this is how the column looks like. So whenever we try to create a post and then we can have all those column where we store those data that we pass into this column. That's just it. So I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.